Megan called out, "I've got the file." Andy needed the file. He reached out to Megan's boss, Kevin. Megan said, "I've got the file." That file started them down the path that leads us here today. Megan and Andy convene us, their most intimate community, to help write their story. Today we are here to help enter a new passage. As with any story, location matters. Place molds us, even as we shape places. You can't understand Megan and Andy's story without knowing something about the Nebraska place that they call home. You have to know Megan's land, the great twin cities of Scribner and Schneider. You have to picture the backdrop of their first adventure in the Golden Spike City, Flat Rock, North Platte, Nebraska, and its outer suburb, Wallace, Nebraska. You have to appreciate the back roads that lead to Hastings, home of C-Cube College and Sutton, a place where the landlord gives you a proud 2-hour history of her town when you even think about renting her property. And of course, you have to know Lincoln, Star City, including Lincoln East High School, McPhee Elementary, where Megan teaches, Lancaster's over at 40th and Old Cheney, and this eternal location. Megan and Andy are Nebraskans. They are of this place where one can see, as Willa Cather wrote, the complete dome of heaven. Theirs is an original Nebraska story. So we continue the story. Megan had the file. But Megan also had a condition. She said that if Andy needed the file, he'd have to pick it up. So they met for a 5-minute file exchange at Lancaster's, at 40th and Old Cheney. 5 minutes turned into 4 hours. Apparently there was a lot to talk about in that file. After 4 hours, they took a day off, and then they got pizza the day after that. After 2 dates, things were going well. Then, on what seemed like about the 3rd date, they decided to move to North Platte, Nebraska. Each of us here, all their friends and family, called and said, "Are you sure this is a good idea? Or maybe a short getaway first, take a long weekend in Wahoo. But North Platte's a long way to go together." But they were confident, and they said to us, "Don't worry about it, darling. We're not going to break the rules. We're just going to bend them a little bit." Bend the rules. That is the working title of Megan and Andy's story. There's a Rumi poem that captures the essence of their decision to move to North Platte. Rumi wrote, "I would love to kiss you. The price of kissing is your life. Now my loving is running toward my life shouting, what a bargain, let's buy it." Megan and Andy moved to North Platte with their loving running toward their lives shouting, what a bargain, let's buy it. And in North Platte, Andy came to better know Megan. Megan's dedication to education emerged. She drove to Wallace, Nebraska, handed her application in person. Superintendent gave her a tour on the spot, and soon she was the art teacher of Wallace, Nebraska. A passion emerged. Megan cares about anything that affects children. Megan continues that work today, teaching at McPhee here in Lincoln. There are other schools that might offer easier jobs in the district, but students at other schools don't need Megan's care and stabilizing presence the same way as our students at McPhee do. In North Platte, Andy also came to know Megan's dedication to family. Andy marveled as her dad, Pete, and his wife, Johnny, would drop everything to drive from Schneider to North Platte. From her end, Megan had to get home for mushroom season with morel mushrooms on her grandpa's property. Megan's mom, Linda, and her husband, Steve, showed another type of commitment. When Izeyl came along, Steve would hold Izeyl. Izeyl had a reflex condition, and she was an unusually strong reflexer, as in like up to 25 times a day. And yet Steve kept holding that baby. And Andy recognized this is an especially dedicated family. Megan also grew close to the Stocks. When Megan took a teaching position in Lincoln, Andy remained in North Platte. And the plan was that Megan would move in with Andy's parents, Art and Linda. Other family members became alarmed when they heard about this plan. There would be too much information about the stocks too quickly. And they suggested alternative arrangements. Yet Megan lived with Art and Linda for 6 months. Linda and Megan would stay up to watch Parenthood and chat and genuinely enjoy each other. It was, and it is, a family thing. While their loving was running toward their lives in North Platte, Megan also grew to know Andy better. Andy examines life from unusual angles. His worldview tilts our reality and often reveals something to us. Megan embraced Andy's unique mind. She loves that Andy challenges her thoughts. Andy helps Megan, like he does the rest of us, see more about the world than we see alone. Andy throws himself into self-invented projects, screenwriting, often with his friend Rick Stempson, working at Legal Aid to protect migrant workers, writing books. Now, Andy does not take on projects because he is told to do so. In fact, the best way to get Andy not to do something is to tell him to do it. Instead, Andy creates new things. He tells new stories almost as a calling. As much as any of us here, Andy's path is self-chosen. 3 years ago, the plot line changed. Izeyl arrived. Izeyl is a dance enthusiast. If we are lucky, in a few hours we might see some ballet moves on the dance floor. Izeyl loves to dress fancy with Mom, to craft sock puppets, do paintings. She likes the zoo so long as Dad gets her water and does not force her into the car seat on a hot day. Izeyl thinks she's getting married today, and so we come here also to join Izeyl on her big day too. So those are the Cliff's Notes of Megan and Andy's story. That's the way that Bend the Rules goes so far. Megan and Andy are old souls that could comfortably reside for 1,000-year stretches together. Megan and Andy admire one another. Megan and Andy accept one another. Megan and Andy enjoy one another. Megan and Andy, let's do the vows.
I'm Megan, choosing you.
I, Andy, choosing Megan.
In front of family, friends, and God.
In front of family, friends, and God.
To be my husband.
To be my wife.
From this day forward,
Better for worse.
for richer or worse.
In sickness and in health.
To care with good love,
And to serve mankind in peace.
as long as we both have.
As long as we both shall live.
Megan, you take Andy to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love and cherish from this day forward. Andy, do you take Megan to be your lawfully wedded wife, to love and to cherish from this day forward?
I do.
Izeyl, are you okay with Mom and Dad getting married? I, along with your community here today, witness and affirm your union of love. By the power vested in me, I pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride. May we wish them happiness, that they may be dissolved into something complete and great. May the peace of the Lord be with you. I introduce to you Andy, Megan, and Izeyl Stock.
Should this be the last thing I see? I want you to know it's enough for me. 'Cause all that you are is all that I'll ever need. So in love, so in love, so in love, so in love.